Welcome back to Midranges Disc Golf. This weekend, tomorrow actually, I think it's like 6:15 p.m. right now. The sun goes down so early here in Western Indiana because for some reason it's Central Time. And I have a tournament tomorrow called the Hidden Lake Havoc. We're playing a 21-hole layout, par 71, which means that there's 8 additional strokes. I think 2 par 5s that look really eagleable. Like they're both under 700 feet. And I did actually get a slight practice round that we'll get into, but I want to go over my whole mindset, my plan for tomorrow. It's my second MA1 tournament. I'm going to be switching up my bag and have a really exciting update for something that I ordered, disc golf related, that you guys might be able to get your hands on if you ever see me or play around with me, because I do have a lot of that schedule coming up. All right, this is the second hole. We're on top of this hill, which if you hit the cage or anything, very good chance of it picking up and just rolling straight back down. It's only a 180-foot hole. So this is one of the things to realize doing these practice rounds is if I'm down at the bottom, I might just want to really lay up and make sure my disc lands at the grade of the hill, because if it's against it, then it might roll away. Especially only being the second hole, I don't want to take a stupid bogey. That could be a momentum ruiner. Take a par, you'll be way happier than someone on your card who rolls right down. Man, I'll tell you what, playing these courses by myself, trying to get prepared is not it. I'm throwing way too many shots. I gotta figure out all my lines. I don't feel like I'm doing anything great right now. All right, it does look like the sun's about to go down in like half an hour or so. I'm only through 6 or 7 holes. I don't know if this is doing me a lot of good. I just should have left myself more than an hour. I forgot that when we came back here, we're in Indiana now, and for some reason, this part of Indiana is Central Time. So we got here like 6 o'clock or 5:30. I was like, oh, this is a perfect amount of time. It was not. Also, one thing to remember is to drink water. My putting has been so bad because I just can't focus. I don't want to get unconfident putting though, because I know my putting is really good. Like at the beginning I was draining everything, and then I just kept getting more and more dehydrated, and I thought I had water and I don't. So putting is really mental. So if you feel like you're a good putter and you're not putting well, just stop putting in your practice round. You don't need to putt. Just practice putting after. You don't need to putt out everything. That's what I'm trying to learn. It's kind of fun right now since we live out of our van, not for disc golf, but kind of is becoming more for disc golf, and maybe eventually will be. We stay just random places, and right now we're at the Indiana Dunes Visitor Center. You're allowed to spend the night here. I'm actually gonna take out my practice basket because first off, we should go over the game plan for the tournament tomorrow and just talk through a little bit of the course. And it was honestly super nice because yesterday I was able to go to Hidden Lakes. And I didn't record everything. I've been feeling really weird just physically these last 2 days, probably not eating or drinking enough. And so today I'm really focusing on hydrating and eating well. Your hydration and your fuel from today is really gonna be what counts for tomorrow. So I don't want my play to be bad because it's something that I could have done better either today or tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna make sure I get enough fuel there. I am a little bit disappointed in the way that the tournament is being run because I've never been here before up until yesterday, and there are no like picture layouts. There's nothing about OBs, and there's roads and water, which I'm just gonna assume are OBs, but there's no stated anything. There's no caddy books. In general, I think I got an idea on most of the holes. I'm actually pretty pumped because the par 4s that are there are all like under 600 feet, and there's 2 par 5s that are like 640 feet each. And if you have like just a solid tee shot on one, I was able to practice one, wasn't able to practice the other because it got too dark. But if you have just a solid tee shot, you can get 350 feet off. Then you have a 300-foot forehand or turnover. And then you have a putt for eagle. Like, I don't know why that's a par 5, except for maybe the fact that all of the mixed divisions, so MPO, MA1, all the way down to MA3, are playing the same layout. Probably gonna play like a 4, but it'll be cool to hopefully get at least 1 eagle out of the 4 chances that I have. But I don't even know if that picture of the holes and the pars was correct. So my game plan pretty simply is just get tons and tons of birdies. It doesn't seem like there's a lot that you really have to be worried about in terms of OBs, maybe only on a couple different tee shots. I don't like to look at previous scores of tournaments like this or tournaments that are played here because it gets like a number in my head, like someone else is saying, hey, this is what is a good round here. So I haven't looked at anything, but just based on how short the course is, those 2 eagle opportunities, I'm thinking double digits each round is what you're gonna need to even be in contention. I'd say probably 13 or 14 is what's going to feel like a really good round. I have no idea what those will be rated, but I think going out there, especially the first round, and just trying to get every other hole and play bogey free, play really safe. I'm really trying to not let my game plan be affected by other people that I play with. Oh, buddy. Probably gotta remember to put this in first. And it would definitely have been better if I had some more time to practice some of the holes, but I'm really gonna try not to focus on what my card is doing and just pick the line that feels good to me. Take note of what they do because it is 2 rounds in the same day. So if whatever I do isn't a high percentage shot, or they might have a more high percentage shot, I can take that into the second round and think about what to do there. But even though the course seems like it should play pretty easy, you do have to still execute all those shots. So warming up tomorrow, making sure that I'm fueled and hydrated tonight are gonna be really important things to make sure that that happens. As well as tonight, just making sure that my putt feels kind of poppy, feels like I can make things from wherever. Because honestly, with putting, the day before a tournament or the day of a tournament, it's such a mental game that if my putt's feeling good, I might only be out here for 5 minutes. I might be out here for 30 trying to figure stuff out. Just depends on how it's popping out of my hand. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm both trying to cash at a pro tour event as well as beat par at over 100 courses while I live and travel full time in my van. And so right now my rating's just updated to 931, a 4 rating point increase. But a lot of that is, ooh baby. I was playing some courses, I'm not gonna putt with these on this asphalt. I was playing some like flex start tournaments aligned at people's home courses. And normally people will play a couple of rating strokes better at their home courses than they would at like a tournament where they might change OBs and things like that. So I had a couple low 900 rated rounds in there. But my last tournament was 960, so I'm really thinking that's about where I should be playing. That's about what my skill level is. So I'm not even trying to think play above my rating. I'm just trying to think have a good 2 rounds. If I do that, I might finally be able to get my 1,000 rated round that I'm trying to work on. And so that really brings me before I finish practicing putting, because it does feel like it's coming out of my hand well, and focusing while I talk to you guys is not the best way to make sure that is what is going on. Let's talk through the bag. Honestly, not a lot. Actually, a decent bit has changed from my last in the bag video. Not a lot in the size, except for one really cool thing that I'm so pumped for. But I have this backup Opto Pure that I might bring just in case anything happens to this one, because I don't have a second disc that's similar to this. For mids, I'm taking only 2 EMAC Truths. This one is kind of a hyzer flip right now. Really good on backhand and forehand, small little hyzer flips. And this Lucid X one is pretty overstable, which is really nice. I have this one fuse. I was bagging 2 fuses, but they're very similar, so I'm just gonna bag this one fuse for my turnover, and then this Justice. My fairways actually have changed a decent bit, because before, I was really trying to just go hard on the evaders, and a lot of you guys were saying, try the Explorers out instead. And so I actually had an Explorer that I was really going between evaders and Explorers before I filmed that video, because I had an Explorer, but the evaders are such good prices and they looked pretty similar, but I still have a couple evaders in my bag. Not the one that I threw into a tree a billion times. That one is way back over here, but this evader is a very similar stability, but I just like the way that this flies out of my hand. Something about this like Lucid Ice Plastic I really like. The Ricky evader, I don't know if I need this in my bag, but it's nice to have a second overstable fairway driver besides my Big Germ Thunderbird 2021 Tour Series, because this is overstable and this is just a little bit slower, and I don't know if I'll need either or both of them, but I have it in the bag. And then I have an Explorer, which is right now pretty beat in, so it's pretty much hyzer flip to turn, but it has way more stability and less glide than the River. The River just has more glide than anybody will ever need, which is a great thing for pushing a fairway out to almost 400 feet for me. But this Explorer can get to 360 on a similar line with a little bit more low speed fade at the very end, which is a really nice flight pattern, especially for hitting tight lines where I don't want to turn something over too much and I don't want it to glide too high or too far. So this Explorer's in my bag, and I might switch my evaders to Explorers, but I have like 7 backups, so that's a problem. If you have some Explorers and you ever see me and you want to offload one, I'd be appreciative. And then my trusty Thunderbird. I don't know if this will ever get taken out of my bag. I love that disc so much. All right, let's talk distance, boys, real fast, because that's actually been a slight change as well. I got in a shipment of some Graces. There's the Lupus Graces, which is just a stamp, not her last name. And I also got some World Champ ones, and one of them is still in plastic, the purple one, because I really wanted that color. I'll probably rotate in, and they feel very similar to this disc. And these are a perfect level stability right out of the box, but they do beat in. I don't know how long it's gonna take to beat in, but I'm gonna keep those for some field work as well as to beat in, because right now I only have one of those in my bag, and I took out my beat-in Orbit Grace that I already had because I didn't really need it, and it was very overlapping with this first run Grace, but this one just has a little bit more hyzer flip. So I think I'm gonna keep this in for the tournament and then work this back into the bag so that it'll get to the same spot, because I don't want anything to happen to a first run Grace. I feel like that's a little valuable even if I have thrown it. But for the tournament, that's definitely staying in the bag because it's very straight. This is my most overstable Grace, and what's nice about it is it's kind of as overstable as this Rive. It doesn't quite go as far if I hit them both as hard as humanly possible, but it's much easier to get up to speed. So if I need to go up and over something, this is what I learned in my practice round, it was much easier to put this on a really high line over trees if I'm having to throw over 30 or 40 feet in the air, because it takes a lot less to get this up to speed. So that's staying in my bag, and it has a little bit slower fade, which actually helps it to push a little more. And then this Kristen Lupus Grace is just my turnover. I had this Rive in my bag, and I actually took it out of my bag because it's a similar spot, but you have to hit it a little bit harder than this Grace. And so I don't need something that I need to hit harder on those turnover lines. I only have 2 Rives now. One of them is just kind of my workhorse Rive. This is gonna be probably my furthest flying disc on flat ground because it will turn and it will come back and fade hard. And then my most overstable disc right now. I probably need some more overstability in my bag, to be honest with you. I can force it over if I really need to, but it's a really solid disc. Hopefully there's not a crazy amount of wind to contend with. I might bring some backups just because there is a water hazard, but I don't plan on throwing anything into the water, so I don't know if we'll need that. And there's one really cool thing besides my putting putters that I keep in that same pocket that I just got, that if you ever see me, please ask for, and I will gladly give one to you. But I just got in my own custom minis. Bonanza Disc Golf, that's the logo I'm going with, at least for this season while I'm living in the van. If you want some of these to buy, for like $5 or $6 a piece, let me know, because I can probably make that happen. But if you see me, please ask, because I got a couple hundred of them in the back of my van. But if you want to follow my round, here's my PDGA number. I'll have 2 rounds tomorrow. One starts around 9 o'clock Central, I think, and the other one around 1 o'clock. Hoping to get my first 1,000 rated round. But worst case, just play disc golf that I'm proud of. Like this series, which has the 3-round tournament, as well as my in the bag video. Check out that playlist right there. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And subscribe and like this video if you liked it, because I got a lot of content coming. But wish me luck so I can get this win.